Hi everyone, I want to talk to you about daily practice in somatic movement. So I don't think anyone would sort of go, oh no, you don't want to do daily practice. That doesn't sound like a good idea. But actually doing it is not that easy, right? I mean, maybe you're the kind of person who says, I'm going to do this, and then like really easily just slots it into your day. But I think a lot of us are like me. We lead full lives. We're trying to fit a lot of things in. And given a straight choice, if I go, oh, I've got 15 minutes free, I want to sit down with a cup of tea, you know? However, when I get up from my cup of tea, and by the way, I'm not saying never sit down with a cup of tea, but when I get up from my cup of tea, I don't particularly sort of feel better, you know? When I do my somatic movement practice, I get up and I feel good in my soma, my living body as I experience it. And it helps me to kind of keep things moving in my practice and maintain any gains I've got, right? So I know that I need it. I know that I benefit from it. But I really do have to come back to, what do I actually get from this? Why am I doing it? Reminding myself of how it helps me to improve chronic pain issues or postural issues, or give me more energy, or just make me feel less kind of stiff and tight and tired when the stresses of life are getting to me. But I also know that if I don't sort of keep my practice ticking over, things are going to go downhill, and I don't want that. As I get older, and I'm 46 now, as I get older, you kind of see that sort of decline creeping in, and actually I don't believe that it's inevitable. And somatic movement can really help us to kind of halt that decline and actually get better. My freedom of movement now is way more than it was a few years ago when I started doing somatic movements. I really want to put that out there as a little sort of nugget of hope if you're feeling like things are getting worse and worse and worse, And so you're going to have these sort of elements of progress in how you feel and how you move, and actually that kind of daily practice, and not beating ourselves up if we miss a day, but essentially daily practice really does kind of help maintain those gains over the long term and keep building on those. It also makes us more skilled in terms of sort of how we're moving our body, how we're sensing what's going on. And then if something does go wrong, because we have little niggles and things kind of happen occasionally in our bodies, we have the tools then to sort of deal with it in the moment, as well as kind of seeing progress over time. So just some thoughts there about why we might want to try and bring in some daily practice. One thing I didn't say that I think is really interesting: somatic movement. If you've been around this space for any length of time, you know that somatic movement is not exercise. It's very much kind of conscious awareness of how we're moving and how the muscles are holding tension or releasing muscle tension. And because we put so much conscious awareness on it, it actually helps to increase the flexibility of the mind. Imagine if you decide that, so you could do this right now, pretty much, unless you're driving as you listen to this or something, cross your arms and just notice which way you naturally cross them, and then try and cross them the other way. And you'll have to think about it, right? Unless you've done this a million times already. But switching to the other hand, the other arm, whatever, it really does make you think. And actually, the more we can dehabitualize our movement, the more we can engage our brain, the more flexible our brain will be. So many benefits of somatic movement and getting that sort of regular practice in, freeing up flexibility in the mind and the body. How to do it, that is the other thing that is tricky, of course, is actually how to bring it in. So my invitation to you is to really start small. If you start with a small habit, it's easier to build up from that. If you kind of go at it like, I'm going to do an hour a day, that would be lovely, wouldn't it? We'd all feel great, but that is not the reality. So keep it small and build up from there. For example, get yourself down on the floor each night before bed and just notice how your soma feels. That could be your starting point. Or even just doing it in bed, just lie there and go, what's present? And if you can also bring in a little bit of arch and flatten, I'll try and remember to add the video in the comments underneath. Just that sort of small bit of movement, the bread and butter movement of somatic movement, arch and flatten. You could just bring that in just for 2, 3, maybe 4 minutes, make it accessible to yourself. If you need kind of more accountability, and I know I do, then come along to our online sessions on a Saturday morning, and that can be a sort of, I've got to show up, like that can be really helpful too. But if you want something small, a little bit of a check-in, little bit of maybe arch and flatten each day, see where that takes you. All right, have fun with that. Let me know how you get on, and I'll see you next time.